Greetings, viewers. I was asked in one of the comments on one of the AMD live stream videos I did, how would this chip here, this AMD A series A9500, compare to a second generation i3. I have a second gen i3 sitting in my storage unit somewhere. I do not have a board. I now have a board out of a Dell Optiplex 7010, and that is going to take that second gen i3. I don't remember what model of i3 it is, but in the end, does it really matter that much? So what we're going to do is, I worry that this board might have a higher graphics capability, or this chip. So to make things apples to apples, I'm going to use my GTX, oh, it's on this side, 960. And this board is 8 gigabytes of Corsair DDR4, and this says 2400 megahertz, but it's probably going to run at whatever the chip's going to run it at. I have a solid state hard drive, a Kingston 240 gig, and one of the reasons I paused the video last time was to go find a SATA cable. So I'm going to pause the video one more time and actually do that this time. So I will be right back. One of the best features they added to OBS Studio is the ability to pause. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I have the SATA cable. SATA 3. Okay. So I don't know if this means that that's the only SATA 3 connector on this board. I hope not, because that is not lining up with that motherboard, or with the graphics card. So these all say SATA 3. Okay. So I don't understand why they would do that. I guess because they expect you to use a 90-degree connector. Maybe the board came with one. I don't know. I had the box somewhere. So we are going to hook this up. Alright, I don't know what it's doing right now, whether it's recording or not. I hope it is. Crap. I just got this tangled in my headphones cable. Anyway. So we're doing a kind of, redneck test bench here on a power supply box. I have a 3-year-old that's trying to be loud in the other room while I'm trying to record. And I'm trying to put this on the wrong side of the cable. I don't like this power supply. I have another power supply I usually use, which I like better than this one. However, right now it's in the computer that we are streaming with. I think, yeah, that is that one. So we have that hooked up. We have our graphics card to... No, we have our graphics card hooked up already. We need the 8-pin for the CPU. And we also need the power for the SSD. And right now I am making the SS, or oh, I'm using the wrong one. Okay, so I'm making a flash drive for Windows 10, because that's, despite my distaste of Windows 10, do I not have this one plugged in right now? I do. For some reason. There we go. So I should get... Oh, you know what would probably help is plugging in power cable. Or not power cable. And I just want to remind everybody what we're working with here. And for whatever reason, this is not really showing what we I actually want to move you up. Wait, hold on. I want you up. Jeez. Okay, so that's what I actually want to do. For whatever reason, this isn't showing me what the actual system is. So, but anyway, we will save system and setup, or save and restart, where you guys are going to lock up for half a second, and then hopefully it'll go ahead and boot from the Windows flash drive. As little as I like to run Windows, I'm going to go ahead and do that. There is a little bit of a delay, if I haven't mentioned this, from this camera to the to that. And I don't know why, but we'll go ahead and do the setup. I'm going to cruise through this, and I will get back to you guys when we are in Windows. Yeah, I'm just breaking into this to say, wow, there is a lot more lag here than I thought there was, or normally is. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and just let this install, and I will be back as soon as I can. Alright, so here we are in a very fresh install of Windows. I'm actually going to shrink this down and bring it over here. So let's try to make things make sense. Search, hidden, store, unpin, because none of this stuff I'm going to be using. Cortana, go away. So a couple things I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run the Windows updates. It's already installed the NVIDIA drivers. Right, is it gone? What is it not? Right now I can't get the start menu to come up. So we'll just go ahead and restart, because I know it just installed a bunch of drivers. So just a reminder of what we're dealing with as far as the system is. We have the AMD A6-9500. What is this one? An A320? Yeah, Gigabyte GA A320M S2H board. And NVIDIA GTX 960. Wow, this thing is warm. I might go ahead and give you guys just a little more of that. 8 gigs of Corsair Vengeance DDR4, LTTstore.com. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to install all the Windows updates, install all the and install a couple games. And one of the things I want to do, I don't know if it really matters which browser we do it in. Okay, so that works. Hold on. Let me unpin. I don't even care what you are. Unpin, because this is all just taking up background resources that I could be using somewhere else. I'm actually... shoot. And unpin from start. So now when I bring that up, that's going to be like that. So I'm going to go ahead and install the Windows updates and install some games, and that's when I'm going to go ahead and come back. So for right now, we're going to just stop recording, and I'll be back. Alright, so I am recording. Okay, so all the updates are done. So what we're going to do right now is go in here to downloads, Cinebench R20, Cinebench R20, Crap, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to close that. And we are going to run Cinebench R20 on an A6-9500. That is one of the stupidest things I've done, I think. Something here got... Oh, 541. Do you think we're going to beat that? Alright. Just to, just to show what we're working with again. We're working with the, A6-9500, 7.45 gigs of RAM, because for some reason, even though I'm not using it, it's taking some of my main memory. So we are going to perform a render test. If things get crazy, I'm going to, and by crazy I mean actually, by that I mean like actually be slow as heck. Stop, Luke. I am going to pause it, which I think, based on what I'm seeing already, I'm going to pause that. Although it's actually going now.
Daddy?
Yeah.
Please come on.
So we started this test at what this computer would have said 4:10 p.m., which is actually 7:10 p.m. Guys, for some reason this is trying to force me on this other time zone. So we're gonna go, because I'm actually on the Eastern time zone. And it's now 7:11. So we are... Oh, wait. So it's now barely, or it's now 7:11, and we're probably halfway done. So it's been about 5 minutes already. So this is going to take a while. So we'll see what happens, and I will get back to you guys in a minute. Alright, so we're down to the last few here. Wow, it is 7:21. What did we start this at? 7:06? This thing is churning away. It's not warm though. I mean, it's well, the VRMs are a little... Actually, the VRMs aren't even really all that warm either. And I need to put this away. I was checking some statistics while while doing this. So let me know also if you would, because I'm going to do the 3rd gen or 2nd gen i3, but I also have a 7th gen i3. If you, I'll go ahead and add that. Whew. We got 315 points. I'm pointing at the screen like you can see. Which mouse is it? This mouse. I have two mice that are the exact same. 315. The lowest one before it was 521. And you know what's funny is I went ahead and ran this test on the computer I'm recording this with, and got like a 3715, and it took like a whole minute. Oh, excuse me. And so what I'm going to do now, because we're actually going to be getting food in a few minutes. Yeah, okay. I was just trying to see if there was any other, I thought I remember there being like a GPU test as well. But I'm going to go ahead and get Steam installed and download some games, and I will be back to record more of this. I really don't want this to be a super long video, but it's going to end up being pretty long, I can tell already. But, yeah, so, yeah, if you want me to go ahead and test that 7th gen, I can do that in another video. Just to kind of, I'll take the footage from the i3, and I'll put that together with the with the 2nd gen. You know what I'm trying to say, I hope. Anyway, I'll be back in a bit. Actually, one test I should probably do is like YouTube performance. I know I'm running Edge, just because I'm too lazy to install. Man, like this is actually really kind of painful. 10. 1080p, 60 frame per second video. Like this, I can already tell it's not going to do very well. It's weird because this chip is not hot at all. But let me turn the sound off just in case. I don't want to do too much of this because I don't want to get flagged. And what are we at? For auto, it's already set to 720p. So we'll do stats for nerds. It's not really dropping any. So we'll go up to 1080p. It's not dropping any frames. Yeah, it's doing pretty good. Okay, so we'll give that a pass. That's definitely a pass. So I'm gonna go ahead and get Steam installed. Steam.com. Alright, and I will be back in a bit. Alright, so we got some games installed. I don't know if I'm going to play Kerbal. I think I'm just going to do Rocket League for now. But what I need to do is go in to settings. I wanted to make sure I can see the in-game. We'll do top left because I have you in the top right now. And then we shall play Rocket League. Hopefully. Maybe. We shall see. And I have my controller, which by the way I did a video of. I'll try to put a link down below if I can remember. And I need to mute that and put that away. And I have another test I want to do, but I want to do that. I'll do that in a little bit. I just want to hopefully play this game. It says it's loaded. And it's doing something down there. I just went and picked up dinner, so I'm going to hopefully get this played real quick. And then, oh, it's still... So I'm going to pause this for a second and I'll come back. Alright, so we're back. I was actually just watching something. Madam Roy started a third live stream today, and I just wanted to check in on that real quick. This really didn't take that long to start up. So we're going to go ahead and hit any button to start. And then we are just going to go play, quick play. So far I'm seeing 61 FPS in the upper left, which seems pretty good. It's searching for a thing. It just shook my controller saying it's joining. And yeah, we're in, actually not too bad. We're at like 55 FPS, and yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, I need to look at what I have the settings for. Cool, somebody just hit me. Alright, let's get you back going the right direction. I want to see what my settings are at. I failed to look at that. I'm not very good at this game, but I will, I'll play it while I'm doing testing like that. That's the whole reason I bought it. But Yeah, so let's actually exit out of here. Leave match, yes, and the ball bounces softer off your car's wheels than the body. Okay, I kind of figured that. I mean, that's kind of how life works. I mean, it goes. So I just want to see what my. I didn't really look at my graphics settings. Where's my mouse at? Okay. So video, we're at 1920 by 1080, high quality. So let's just go high performance, let's go performance on all of it. And then we'll go back in, quick play, see what kind of, but that was actually pretty good that we had high detail, but I think that's mainly because of this very, very warm graphics card. It's searching for a thing right now. In a second I'll probably shake my controller and then I'm going to go eat. I have another thing I want to do. Right now it's at 26 FPS. So it looks like we're in the we went for high performance and we're still like capped at like capped around 60. So yeah, we're capped at 60. I don't think that's the limitation of the game, because when I play it on my other computer I get a lot more than that. Cool, somebody just bounced off of me. But anyway, so we're gonna leave the match again. Yes. Hold. Oh, cool. But I'm gonna go eat. I'm waiting on some files to copy off my GoPro, and then I'm going to do another test on this computer. But I hope I was actually recording. So I'll see you later. Alright, so I just did a fresh restart on this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the last test that I'm going to do on this system. And in order to do that, I just want to see something here. I want to see how this should be. Oh crap, I got Steam starting. Just want to make sure it's going to open with VLC player. So let's see how it's going to react to this. This is just a 720p video from my GoPro. 720p 30. It looks pretty good. Alright, and then we're going to go into KDN Live. I'm not used to editing with just one monitor. This is weird. Hope this doesn't make too much noise. There we go. It was actually pretty quiet. Alright, so KDN Live is going to come up. So we're going to do that. I'll usually ask 720p. Yes. Switch. Man, that is taking a while. Look at that. Alright, and then that's only a 20-second video. Like, I think between this, it's not even 4. I don't think it's even going to be 4 whole minutes. So this is what I usually use for editing my videos, and this is what I'm going to use for that. So it's going to be like a 4-minute and 17-minute, or 4-minute and 17-second video. So what I need to do is configure. So I have not done any of this yet. So this is only a 2-core system, so we can only use 2 cores. Render. We're going to do. Oh shoot. Render project, more options. I'm sorry, I hit the wrong thing. So we're going to go to 2 threads. We're going to go to MP4 and render to file. Yes, it already exists. We're going to overwrite it. And it says it's only going to take 1 minute and, well, now it's jumping up to 2 minutes. The nice thing is I can pause this, and then when it shows, I'm pointing at the screen like you can see what I'm doing. and when it comes up, you'll see how long it was. So we're gonna go ahead and pause this because again, I don't want this to be like a 2 hour long video. I will bring this back up just to show you. I brought up the task manager, and we're running at 2.5 gigs of RAM. Pretty steady, and we're running at 100% on this processor, and it's maintaining 3.78 gigahertz. But what's the? Oh, that's a medication box. This says it's 3.8 gigahertz, so it's running right up to its max power. It's not, it's not throttling at all. It barely feels any heat at all. If anything, the GPU is warm. But yeah, I mean it straight up says 3.8 gigahertz. So it's saying about another 2 minutes or so. So I'm going to pause this one more time, and I'll be back in a few. Alright, so we are down to the last few minutes. So this actually didn't do too bad. It did 5 minutes and 14 seconds, but this is 720p video at 30 frames per second. I think that's a little slower than real time. So I think if you actually had like 1080p 30 or 1080p 60, it definitely would be even slower. But I think for right now, we're going to go ahead and be done with this. I'll come back tomorrow when I have the other processor, and we will start working on the i3 video. So I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, so I'm going to attempt to do some stuff here. There's some noise going on at my house. But off camera, what I did is I set up the i5 system. Remind you of what we are working with. Or at least tell you from the beginning what we're working with. It's an I3-2120, 3.3 gigahertz. According to what I'm seeing, wrong mouse. According to what I'm seeing, this should be a Sandy Bridge release date Q4 2013. 2 cores, 4 threads, 3.3 gigahertz. So yeah, that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same test. I've already installed everything on here. I had to reinstall Windows because for whatever reason it just would not work. Ah, crap. I got to pause this while this does this. I completely forgot about that. So give me a minute. Alright, so I went ahead and did the... This keyboard that I have doesn't have any keyboard shortcuts. I can already tell you right now, this thing seems so much more snappy than the other one. Than the AMD A6-9500 APU. So this one was released in 2013. The other one was released in 2017. And we see what the options are. Everything's in hyper. Let me try high quality on everything. And we'll go ahead and grab the controller and do a quick play. And just like last time, it is searching, and it's just that the this is in front of where it says searching. But some of you probably know more about gaming than I do, to be honest, because I'm not really a gamer. Searching. Oh, shoot. I actually want to... Oh, I gotta go back into... Let me see how this feels first, because if it feels better than the other one, I know it'll be cleaner, but... Does look good, but let me leave match. Y'all let me forget a huge and important thing. And I happened to remember that just as I was about to move the other one over. So I'm trying to let everybody see, my process, without in game. We'll go top left. So we'll see what this. I have those keys, but I don't have the other one that showed. This one's definitely louder than the A6, and you're like right next to my microphone, so I imagine you're probably hearing it more than I am. A. It looks like it's pretty much exactly the same, 63 FPS, which I think has more to do with the GPU than anything else right now. And my controller is vibrating. There's a joke I could probably make, but I'm not going to. So we're at pretty much the same thing, 61 FPS. Whee! So we're not going to waste a whole lot of time on here. So this is pretty much the same. I do like having a controller. I did review. I might have mentioned this already. I reviewed this one. I'll put a link down below. As far as a basic USB controller goes, it is quite nice. So, what are the other tests? Oh shoot! What are the other tests that we did? Went to Edge. Probably should have installed something like LibreOffice, but it's too late now. So we went into here, into YouTube. Everything seems like it loads pretty slow on both of these, and I don't know why. And I think that's the one we... Is that the one we used last time? I know a lot of times I like to use the Costa Rica one. Yeah, that's at 1080p. Stats for nerds. We have 0 drop frames at 1080p. God, that is gorgeous, though. Again, it spools up real nice and quick. Some of that would probably have to do with my internet here. I mean, this is a 4K video that's been chopped that I'm doing at 1080p. But yeah, so that worked pretty well. I think the last thing, well, actually not the last thing. Cinebench. After Cinebench, I have one more thing to do. A lot of this is much quicker because I went ahead and downloaded all this last time, or did it, because I went ahead and last time I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do. This time I did, and we'll see how much faster this seems to be at first. I'm not going to sit here and have you sit here through this. It should be at least twice as fast because there's 2 more core, well, 2 threads. And you can see which ones are the threads and which ones are the cores. But I think this is probably going to be a heck of a lot quicker. We started this at what? God, why does it keep going? Oh yeah, because it's a new version of it installed. So it's actually 608, but it says 308. So we started this at what, 307, 308. I'm going to go ahead and pause this and come back when I know when it's finished. I will say it's been about 4 minutes, and it is a heck of a lot further than it was in on the other one. because I remember what was the other one, about 15 minutes. But and I think it did something like a 300 or 400. I'll have to go back and review the footage. But man, this is so much quicker. Actually, while this is finishing up, I'll go ahead and review that footage. So this looks like it's finishing up right now. It's got about down to the last couple. So I took some notes here. On the old one, or on the 9500, it took 16 minutes and got a score of 315 points. And we're down to the last ones here. This is a little less than 10 minutes, and we got a 587. That is a massive, massive, massive improvement over that. So that seems to be doing okay. Let's go ahead and come out of here. Oh, you know what? I did forget to install something. Let me go install this. I'll be right back. Alright, so I just installed KDN Live, and it's coming up. Now I want to bring up test video. This is the same ones that we tested last time, and I will switch it to 720p. Go ahead and full screen that, settings, configure, environment. We have 4 that we can use. So we'll go ahead and do channel trailer, which is just my intro video, and this 4-minute clip, render. I don't remember which one we used. I think we used oh man, I think we used WebM, so we'll just go ahead and use that one and see what this does. There's no way it's going to take less than a minute, or about a minute. This actually isn't doing too bad. And somewhere I have my water bottle over on my desk. Alright, so yeah, I don't want to make you guys sit here and watch this, so I'll go ahead and just pause this and come back in a minute. Looks like we're down to the last few seconds here. And yeah, like I said before, this is the same program I use on every other system to run this. So it took 3 minutes and 44 seconds to do a render. That's 4 minutes 17 seconds, but that's at 720p. I imagine at 1080p, 60, 4K, anything like that, it would go ahead and choke like you can't believe. So what are my final thoughts on this? Alright, so you know, when it comes down to it, you gotta look at value. And do I have a, I don't know if I want to, I gotta try to get to my normal keyboard here. It's getting harder and harder to find, what are these, 1155 boards? Yeah, 1155. Oh, they're getting harder and harder to find good boards. LGA 1155 motherboard. They are, you know, you're looking at $62 for a mini ITX, Dell boards. Gigabytes, $43. That's not too bad. That's buy it now, free shipping. Because if you think about it, the i3 chip here can be bought on eBay for about $7 and $8. So you put that into a $43 motherboard. That's an H61. That's not a bad chipset. And you know, 8 gigs of RAM. You're probably looking like another $40 or so. you got yourself a pretty decent system, especially if you can find a good, like a 960 or something. But that's pretty much it. The only thing you can really do on that, I don't know, like say, hold on, Intel Arc or Intel third gen. I just want to see. Like, I don't know if that's the same architecture. I can't remember if that's the same board. Let's see here. Those are 1156. So, oh wait, no, that's 3 series. Those are 1155. So they may be compatible. I honestly don't know, to be completely 100% honest with you. So your upgrade paths are limited. This one here, this AMD board, my headphone cable got tangled in it, is an A320, and pretty much any Ryzen or any AM4 APU is going to go in there. So you have a better upgrade path, and you have the higher bandwidth of the memory. But, you know, it's just hard to say, like, what I would recommend. I would probably recommend, if you're just going to do a little system and you don't really care about upgrading, yeah, this is not a bad value. That chip brand new is like around, what, $50? Let me go back here on eBay. AMD A6-9500. Okay, so they're $47. You can get some of these are, I don't know what the AMD 9500E is, to be honest. But yeah, they're brand new for like $45 to $50. And it's like, okay, so you put that in, you have a decent GPU, you can go ahead and get yourself a halfway decent gaming system until you can afford a better processor. I honestly feel like I would highly recommend, going with the AM4 platform, because these are you have a better upgrade path. If you're not worried about an upgrade path, this here, I paid $20 for the motherboard with the with the cooler. Like I said, you can get the CPU for like $10 off of eBay. Not a bad running board. I don't even know what chipset is in this thing, to be honest. Let me jump on here. I know I have device manager. Does it show chipset like that? It doesn't. I'd have to go into it and find it. But, well, actually, hold on. What is this one? This one is the 7010 Dell 7010 chipset. Yeah, it doesn't look like it wants to tell me, but Q77 chipset, Q77 Express. But yeah, so honestly, like in my testing, this with the gaming, it almost made no difference. Mainly because one game I played, I think, is CPU or GPU heavy. But let me know what you guys think down below. I'm going to go ahead and call this a video. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.